what's something that you learned about Kobe throughout the years, and what's the best piece of advice that he ever gave you?
The best piece of advice Kobe ever gave me, and I call him this often, is the idea that MAMBA mentality, what he was so known for, his determination, his grind, his hustle, his work ethic, all of that can be used to identify a weakness or a spot in your life that needs attention and needs care. And he told me that having a mental health issue as an athlete does not make you less than, does not make you not MAMBA mentality. You use your MAMBA mentality to say, hey, I'm struggling with this. I need help with this. And that is the definition of a strong athlete. And so hearing those words from him and having that same message parlayed in this book is so powerful coming from Kobe.
Yeah, and I think that seeing what you've done, I think it's just so amazing that you were able to learn from him, and it's also something you're very passionate about as well. And so you have your organization. You also partnered with Kobe and Granity Studios for this incredibly inspiring story, Geese, Swans. So how did this partnership come about?
Well, I was so grateful to have met Kobe at USC, and he ended up seeing on Instagram that I was starting something called The Hidden Opponent, and there was nothing there yet. I literally just got the username and said, follow this if you want to see what's coming next. And Kobe followed it, and there was nothing there yet. So just his belief from the beginning, and he knew I was doing stuff for mental health, meant the world. And then I reached out and said, I'd love to tell you about what I'm developing. And so we met and had a really special meeting, one that I will cherish for the rest of my life, where he said, you know, he was willing to help in any way. And this book was in the works at the time. So having the book finally come to life and The Hidden Opponent be much more developed and be listed as a resource is a huge honor, and we don't take it lightly. Anyone that comes to The Hidden Opponent, we want to feel like they are welcomed and supported.
Talk about motivation. You see Kobe's following your Instagram account. You're like, okay, this better happen now.
Yeah, no, seriously. And it is something I call on all the time, just because to have someone like him believe in this is huge. And that is seriously enough motivation to light a fire in me to make sure that this becomes everything I know he would have hoped it became, and just to serve in a million different ways. So yes, that is the only motivation you ever need, is Kobe Bryant saying, I believe in what you're doing.
Yeah, and what was it like working with him on something that you're both clearly very passionate about?
It was very unique because I didn't know how much he wanted to support and raise awareness for mental health, because when you just look at Kobe as an athlete, you know, you don't really see that weaker side, you just see strength. And so for him to acknowledge, support, and really validate mental health issues in athletes, it means the world. And I know that there's so many people who are huge Kobe fans, whose legacy, who will cherish his legacy forever. And then to know that he is saying it's okay to struggle, I mean, it goes such a long way.
What would you say is the main takeaway from Geese, Swans? What do you hope readers get from this?
The main story is about a young swimmer who's pursuing his dreams of being in the Olympics. And on that journey, we see him deal with a broken home, the grief of losing his brother to suicide, and then this battle that so many of us face, athletes and non-athletes, of how much is too much? How far is too far when trying to achieve your goal in life? When do you need to know when to reel it back, and when do you need to put self-care first? So it's a very special story because you feel very connected to this main character, and we learn on his journey how he navigates those things. And so I think one of the biggest takeaways of the novel is showcasing this idea that you can be capable of pursuing things. You are strong enough to handle setbacks in your life and still feel teed up to accomplish those great things you set out for initially.